Now, one of the big questions, obviously, bird strikes are very common, unfortunately, in aviation. With these particular type of birds, Canada geese, they sometimes show on radar, they sometimes don't. Had they shown up on radar, could this have been a different outcome? And more importantly, is there now in development any kind of a radar to detect these large flocks of birds? And if not, what can we do to get you the equipment you need so you're better prepared in the event that there's another incident like this?
Well, yeah, it's really hit or miss whether or not we pick them up on the radar. It has to do with the size of the flock, the altitude, the direction of flight, because if they're flying tangential to the radar site, they won't pick it up. This particular day, there's nothing that we didn't pick up anything on the radar. Looking at the replay, I was actually relieved when I looked at the replay and I saw that there wasn't a primary target, because that would have been a missed call on my part. Even if I did see it, not much would have changed, to be honest with you, because you get a primary target, and upon taking off, I always said, okay, traffic 12 o'clock, 2 miles, opposite direction, type and altitude unknown. He would have said, Roger, looking. But these birds, when you see them, it's too late. So once he saw the flock of birds, turn left, right, climb, descend, it's too late, because you're on top of them. You're going 210 miles per hour, increasing up to 250. So by the time you see something like that, he wouldn't have been able to avoid it. As far as technology moving forward, you know, everything with the government says slow moving. There's nothing really new that I know of that I've been taught or advised that they're moving forward. But you know, we just stay vigilant and we do what we can.
Now, one of the most fascinating things about this incident was the fact that he did a perfect landing. Take us through the procedure. A lot of people wonder why the wings didn't snap off, why, like in the case of Ethiopian, the plane cartwheeled. In the case of Turkish, we had a similar incident. Why was this one so precise, and why was this so perfect?
Well, fortunately, there were a couple of things going from that day. The winds were calm, so there wasn't very many waves in the Hudson River. And the winds being calm, it's easier to keep the wings level. The most critical thing that he did, the most important thing, was keeping those wings level and touching down with the tail first. So with touching down the tail first, he was able to, first you start slowing down as it hits the water, and then moving forward, the two engines were the next things to hit the water next, and hitting them at the same time keeps you from going left or right. And in doing that is why they had the outcome that they did.
Extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. And looking back on it, you had mentioned that if there was anything you could do different, do you feel that there could have been anything done differently, or this was, quote unquote, the outcome to be expected in this situation?
Yeah, that's a tough question. You know what? The outcome was perfect. So as much as I could like criticize myself for things I may not have done, I think what we did was the perfect way to handle it. I think the most important thing for both of us during the emergency was the fact that him and myself were able to sound calm. Because, you know, working other emergencies, you could hear the stress in a pilot's voice. Now, when you hear stress in the pilot controller's voice, it leads you to get stressed out. You know, and the fact that we both remain calm, it helps you, it's easier to focus on coming up to a solution to the problem when you can remain calm. You know what I mean? So I think, of all things, I think that's the thing that we did best.
Well, the outcome certainly was miraculous, and I think that there are a lot of people who applaud what you've done, and more importantly, applaud the fact that all these passengers survived because of you and because of your actions. I think that you're just as much a hero as Sully is.
Thank you.
And I just want to end by stating that, has there, in your mind, has the industry changed since this incident? Is there anything that you want to see changed because of what has happened? I mean, in your mind, are there procedures that could maybe be refined? Are there elements to this that could be changed, that could produce similar outcomes in the future?
Well, they actually have made some changes. There are, it's kind of weird for me because I have to go through the same training as everyone else, and there are training videos that feature my voice now, which is the weirdest thing in the world. I'm like, do I really have to take this? I mean,
Well, you're a celebrity, so.
I guess. But no, there is training moving forward. I'd like the aviation industry. It's all about learning from the past. So, and this is a learning event, and we use it moving forward. There are courses and classes that are given that talk about exactly what I went through with the double engine failure and with bird strikes. So yeah, we are moving forward, and we're learning from it.
And my last question I want to end. The flying public is so, we've seen so many things happening lately in aviation, and we're amazed. Obviously, I went to aviation school, and Sully was a very big topic. And you're kind of a hero in my school, SUNY Farmingdale.
Thank you.
So I got to be honest when I tell you that the one thing that I personally took away from it is just how vital TRACON is and how important it is to have a network set up. That particular day, I don't know how rescue operations were coordinated or how quickly these ferry boat operators knew what was going on. Take us through that part of it. I mean, how did rescue go from the moment that this emergency was declared? At what point do we now go to a rescue operation? And at what point, moving forward in the future, can this be utilized as a teaching tool for other agencies such as Los Angeles or Miami?
All right, so with the ferry boats, that was actually pure luck. They happened to be running. They saw the plane go down. So that was something that we had going for us as far as the rescue there. The other part of it is once an emergency situation happens, first, before I even went back to Sully, I was yelling for my supervisor to come over and help out. So immediately, it's like, okay, you got one more person involved who gets another person involved, and before you know it, you have like 5 entities involved. That's all happening behind the scenes. Okay. So while I was talking to him, we were already coordinating with the tower. The tower was trying to get NYPD. They were getting a hold of Coast Guard. Rescue operations were already happened. I mean, but this is how quickly things happen. It has to happen that quickly, you know?
All right. Well, they were lucky to have you in the tower, and I think that played a pivotal role in this, and I think there's not a person in this room who will disagree with that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, that was a fascinating, riveting interview. Let's give it up for Patrick and Richard. Great job on the interview. Yeah, that Patrick, who's a Long Beach resident, say a few words about his business, the Long Beach Brewery.
Yep, so this is my retirement plan because I don't want to do air traffic controller as longer than I have to. So yeah, we are opening up a brewing company. It's going to be on Lawson Boulevard and Oceanside, Long Beach Brewing Company. Look for us in about 9 months.
Definitely.
Thank you.